$1,500. That is what the average American family scrapes into the garbage every year, and half of it the freezer could have saved. I ran a walk-in freezer for 400 children on $1.05 a tray, and a school year of my waste fit in one milk crate. Not because I worked harder, because I knew 25 tricks, and tonight you get every one. Number 16 is meat that seasons itself while it thaws. Number 9 will surprise you. An empty freezer can cost you more than a full one. And number 2 is a sticker trick the meat man taught me in 1985 that cuts my bill in half. I am Mrs. Doris, 35 years behind a school lunch line in Scioto County, Ohio, and nothing on my line died of freezer burn. Hit subscribe. We are counting down from 25. Number 25, peel the banana before you freeze it. A banana frozen in its peel turns into a black club you have to carve like a fence post. Peel it first, break it in halves, bag the pieces. They drop straight into oatmeal, banana bread, or the blender. A frozen half also replaces an egg in most quick breads. Mash it in and nobody knows, which matters every winter eggs jump. Bananas are the most wasted fruit in this country. Not in my kitchen, not once. Number 24 is for everybody who has ever thrown away half a loaf. Number 24, freeze the loaf sliced, toast it frozen. Slice the loaf, slip wax paper between every pair of slices, and freeze it flat. The paper is the trick. No paper and you chip at a frozen brick. With paper, 2 slices lift out clean. Frozen bread goes straight in the toaster. No thawing, no green spots on Thursday. A loaf runs $3 and the last third of most loaves molds in the bag. Freeze on day 1 and you eat all $3. Number 23 is a stick of butter and a box grater, and your biscuits will thank you. Number 23, grate your butter frozen. Keep a stick in the freezer, and when biscuits or pie crust call for butter, run it over the box grater frozen. Cold shreds rub into flour in 30 seconds, and cold butter is the whole secret of a flaky biscuit. Warm butter smears, cold butter steams, and steam lifts the layers. Butter keeps 6 months frozen, so stock up at the holiday sales and skip the $5 weeks in between. On my line, the biscuit butter came out of the freezer, never the cooler. Number 22 is for the saddest can in your refrigerator. Number 22, tomato paste, 1 spoonful at a time. Every recipe wants 1 tablespoon of paste, and the rest of the can dies under foil in the refrigerator. Drop the leftovers in spoonfuls on wax paper. Freeze, bag. Each dollop is a recipe waiting. A can costs about $1. Most kitchens buy 12 a year and use 3 cans worth. That is $9 for the garbage man. The dollop bag ends it forever. Number 21 takes 30 seconds and saves you 3 hours. Number 21, flatten the ground beef before it goes in. Do not throw the store tray in the freezer. Press the pound flat in a gallon Ziploc, thin as a magazine, and stack them like books on a shelf. Flat meat thaws in half an hour on the counter. A frozen brick takes all afternoon and usually wins. That is the night the drive-thru gets your $20. Flat packs stack like books, so the shelf holds twice the meat. My walk-in froze everything flat in hotel pans for the same reason. Thin thaws fast. Fast beats takeout. Number 20 puts a summer garden in a January pot. Number 20, herbs in oil frozen in cubes. Chop parsley, basil, whatever is going dark in the crisper. Press it into a cube tray, cover with cooking oil, freeze, bag the cubes. The oil seals the leaves from the air, and air is what turns frozen herbs black. 1 cube dropped in a hot pan starts supper with the flavor already in it. A fresh herb bunch is $2.50, and half of every bunch in America goes in the trash. This trick saves the half you paid for. Now let the door swing shut a minute, because the next part is where the real money is. Every Friday for 35 years, before the buses came, I stood in the walk-in with the clipboard that hung on a nail by the door, and I counted. What came in, what went out, what was hiding behind the green beans. Ruby taught me that my first September. A freezer you do not count eats money quietly. Most families waste $50 a month on food they forgot they owned, bought twice, buried, thrown out a year later wearing a coat of frost. So here is your clipboard. Once a month, 10 minutes, pull everything forward and look. You will find a week of suppers back there already paid for. Stay with me, because number 16 does the seasoning while you sleep. Number 19, freeze your seasoning base in cubes. Onion, garlic, peppers, a little tomato. Cook a big skillet down soft, freeze in cube trays, bag. That is the start of chili, sloppy joes, Spanish rice, and half the suppers in this series. 1 cube in a hot pan, and you are 10 minutes ahead. The jarred starter sauces run $3 or $4 for 2 portions. Your cubes cost about 15 cents each. Make a dozen on Sunday, and you just banked 3 weeks of head starts. Number 18 rescues the most wasted dozen in America. Number 18, split the eggs, freeze them separate. Eggs do not freeze in the shell, but they freeze fine out of it. Whites freeze plain, 1 per cube, and thaw for meringue or scrambles. Yolks need 1 pinch of salt for supper yolks or sugar for baking yolks, stirred in first. Skip that, and they thaw gluey as paste, and no amount of whisking brings them back. When a recipe leaves you 2 whites or a lonely yolk, the cube tray is where they live now. A wasted half dozen a month is $15 a year at today's prices. Number 17, bakes tomorrow's bread tonight. Number 17, freeze the dough, bake it fresh. Bread dough freezes after shaping. Make rolls on Sunday, freeze them raw on a tray, bag them. The night before, set 2 in the refrigerator. By morning they have thawed and risen, and 20 minutes in the oven gives you a bakery roll for pennies. Fresh bakery rolls run $5 a dozen. A batch of dough is flour, water, yeast, and a spoon of sugar. Call it 80 cents. We baked for 400 this way. The dough always slept 1 night ahead of the children. Number 16. Here is the one that works while you sleep. Number 16. The marinade goes in the bag before the freezer. When chicken goes on special, do not just freeze it. Pour the marinade into the freezer bag with it. Soy and brown sugar, or oil and lemon and garlic, whatever your house likes. It freezes in the seasoning, and here is the pretty part. As it thaws, it marinates. The work happens in both directions, and you did none of it. Chicken thighs on special plus a splash of pantry marinade, and Tuesday tastes like you planned ahead, because in January you did. The counter charges $2 a pound extra for marinated. You own the same pantry they do. Number 15 is how a school kitchen freezes everything, and it fits in your house. Number 15, freeze it loose on a tray first. Strawberries, peppers, meatballs, biscuits. Spread them on a sheet pan so nothing touches. Freeze them hard as marbles, and then bag them. Frozen loose, they stay loose. Bag them fresh, and you get 1 solid lump the size of the bag, and you will chip at it with a butter knife in February. The trade calls it flash freezing. I call it the tray trick, and every school kitchen runs on it. Berries are 99 cents in June and $2.99 in December. By June, pour out what you need all winter. Number 14 settles the rice argument for good. Number 14, cooked rice freezes better than it keeps. Rice barely lasts 3 days in the refrigerator, but frozen flat, it holds for months and reheats in 2 minutes with a splash of water. Cook the whole pot, eat tonight, Flatten the rest into thin packs. Cool it fast, freeze it fast, reheat it hot all the way through. That is the safety rule, and it matters with rice. A microwave rice pouch is $2.50 for one serving. Your frozen pack costs a dime. Same shelf, same 2 minutes. Now here is the part the store would rather I kept to myself. Walk the meat aisle and count. The chicken comes 4 to a tray when most houses need 2. The bread is dated 5 days out when it toasts fine for 2 weeks frozen. The berry clamshell is sized for a family that finishes it by Tuesday, and nobody's does. None of that is an accident. The store sells you supper, and then it sells you the replacement for the supper you threw out, and the register does not care which trip it rings. I price trays for 400 children, so hear me plainly. It is not your fault that the package is bigger than your house, but the freezer is how you buy their package on your schedule. Half tonight, half next month, full price, never. All right, back to the line, and number 9 is the one that sounds backwards until you hear the why. Number 13, stock cubes from the scrap bag. You know my Friday pot, bones and vegetable ends into broth. Here is the freezer half. Pour the stock into cube trays and a quart tub or 2, cubes for gravy and rice, tubs for soup. It keeps 6 months and does not forget the bird it came from. A quart of boxed broth is $4, and it is mostly salted water. Yours is free. You already ate the ingredients once. The kettle eats first, and now the freezer sets the table. Number 12 is 1 pot of sauce and 8 suppers. Number 12, 1 pot of sauce, 8 suppers. Pasta sauce is the easiest thing in the world to make by the gallon. Canned tomatoes, onion, garlic, a long, slow afternoon. Freeze it flat in 2-cup packs. Spaghetti, lasagna, a base for goulash, the same pack starts them all. A jar of decent sauce is $3 for 2 plates. Your pot works out to 40 cents a pack. 8 packs from one afternoon is $20 a month that stays home. The stove was on anyway. Number 11 beats the frozen dinner aisle at its own game. Number 11, your own ready meals in rescued containers. Every time supper makes extra, 1 portion goes into a saved country crock tub or takeout container labeled straight to the freezer. In a month, you have a shelf of ready meals that cost you nothing extra to make. Supper insurance for the nights you cannot stand at a stove. The freezer aisle dinner is $5 and feeds you badly. Yours cost $1 and tastes like your house. For anyone cooking for one, this shelf is the difference between eating and settling. Number 10 turns garbage into a pantry staple. Number 10, the breadcrumb bag. Heels, dry ends, the roll nobody ate, into 1 freezer bag always. When it fills, 10 seconds in the blender makes crumbs for meatloaf, salmon patties, and casserole tops. The boxed kind is $2 for what you have been throwing away all year. You have seen Ruby's heel box over the warming table. The soft heels went to Thursday's bread soup, and the dried ones went to the crumb bag. A heel is not the end of the loaf. It is the top of the meatloaf. Number 9. Listen close because this one sounds wrong until it is Tuesday and your bill drops. Number 9. The fuller the freezer, the smaller the loss. An empty freezer is all air, and air spills its cold on the floor every time the door opens. Then the machine buys it back with electricity. Frozen food holds its cold. A packed box recovers fast. A bare one works overtime. I will not promise a miracle on the electric bill. I will promise this. Fill the gaps with milk jugs of water, and if the power fails, a full freezer keeps food safe a day longer. My walk-in went down in July of 1988. The compressor coughed and died on the hottest week of the summer, and the water jugs bought us the time to cook everything before it turned. We fed half the county for 2 days. Nothing died but the compressor. Number 8 is the fish counter's best-kept secret, and it is hiding one aisle over. Number 8. The fresh fish was frozen first. Most fish at the fresh counter arrived frozen and was thawed for display. Ask, they will tell you. You are paying a premium for a head start on spoilage. One aisle over sits the same fish, solid in its bag, near half the price. Thaw it the night you actually want it. Salmon at the counter runs $12 a pound. The frozen bag runs $7. Same fish, honest label, and it waits in your freezer instead of racing you to Friday. Number 7 ends the sad jar of chopped garlic forever. Number 7. Ginger and garlic go in whole. Garlic cloves and whole ginger root freeze as they are, skin on, nothing done to them. Grate them frozen, straight into the pan. Frozen ginger grates finer than fresh and never goes woody. The jarred stuff cost $2 and went flat before the truck ever left the warehouse. Fresh ginger is cheap, but the hand wrinkles before you finish it. Frozen, it keeps half a year. A quarter-a-week trick that mostly buys flavor. Number 6 is the gallon nobody believes. Number 6. Milk freezes, truly. A gallon of milk goes in the freezer as is. Just pour off a cup first because it swells. Thaw it in the refrigerator over a day or two and shake it hard. The cream steps out of line when it freezes and the shake puts it back. When milk drops to $2.50, buy 2 and freeze 1. In quarts if you live alone, so nothing sours half-finished. Milk down the drain is the quietest waste in the house, and it adds up by June. Before the last 5, I owe you one confession. I told you nothing on my line ever died of freezer burn, and for 35 years it was true. Then I lost Jean, and the winter after, my freezer at home filled up with foil lumps and no dates, and in March I threw out a roast gone gray at the corners. Grief does not keep a list, and neither does tired. If your freezer looks like that tonight, you are not failing. You are just not counting yet. Ruby put the clipboard in my hands my first September and said, "If it is not written down, honey, it does not exist." She was talking about green beans, mostly. The last 5 tricks are the counting kind, and the counting kind are the ones that pay the light bill. Number 5. Grate the cheese, then freeze it. Cheese freezes fine, grated. Buy the big block when it goes on special. Grate the whole thing while the television is on. Freeze it in a bag and shake out what you need by the handful. Frozen grated cheese melts in a casserole, same as fresh. Now, I will be straight with you. A thawed block goes crumbly, so this is cooking cheese, not company cheese. But a block on special beats the pre-shred bags at twice the price, and pre-shred is dusted with starch so it will not clump, which is also why it will not melt right. You paid extra for worse. Number 4 costs a roll of tape and saves everything else. Number 4. Wrap it tight, tape it, date it. Air is the enemy. Freezer burn is nothing but air stealing water off your food, and it only wins when the wrap is loose. Press the air out of every bag, double wrap the big cuts, and write what it is and when it went in, masking tape and a grease pencil, same as my walk-in. Nothing survives being anonymous. An unlabeled package is future garbage with extra steps. A dated one gets eaten. This trick costs $1 a year and protects every other dollar in the box. Number 3 is how a cafeteria thinks, shrunk to fit your kitchen. Number 3, cook once a week like a lunch line. One afternoon, 3 pots, a sauce, a soup, a tray of something baked. Portion it, label it, freeze it, and the week is fed. That is not a trend with a hashtag. That is how every school kitchen in this country has run since before I was born. You cook in batches because batches are cheap, and you freeze because Tuesday always comes. 3 hours on Sunday replaces 5 weeknight scrambles and 1 white flag pizza night. Bills drop by a third when suppers stop being emergencies. Mine did, and I knew the tricks already. Number 2, the sticker trick. I promised you 1985, and here it is. Number 2, shop the markdown sticker. Freeze it the same day. Every store marks meat down when it nears its date. Manager special, the orange or yellow sticker, half price, and sometimes better. The meat man at our store showed me the rhythm in 1985. Same counter, same hour, most mornings. That meat is fine tonight and fine for months if it goes in the freezer the day you buy it. The date was written for the refrigerator. The freezer does not read it. Most shoppers walk past that sticker because they think it means spoiled. It does not. It means the store blinked first. Sticker shoppers can save $50 to $100 a month on meat alone. Ask your meat man when the cart comes out. The hour has barely moved since 1985. And number 1 is the trick that makes the other 24 work. Number 1, know what you own. The clipboard. On my walk-in, it hung on a nail. On your freezer, it can be a piece of paper under a magnet or a note in your telephone. Every package that goes in gets a line. Every package that comes out gets crossed off. First in, first out, same as the line. The old food moves forward. The new food waits its turn. That is the trick that makes the other 24 pay. The wrap protects food you remember. The batch cooking feeds you from food you can find. An unlisted freezer is a junk drawer set to 0 degrees. A listed freezer is next month's groceries already bought, waiting on you to say when. 35 years, 400 children, 1 milk crate of waste a year. We did not waste a thing we could see, and after tonight, you will see everything. It was never magic. It was a pencil on a string.